Miles of highway stretched ahead of me like an endless black ribbon, glowing faintly under the high beams. I was on my way back from a business trip, late at night, exhausted, and running low on gas. My GPS had glitched out 30 minutes ago, and cell service vanished just as quickly. I should have waited for daylight. But I just wanted to get home. Then came the fork in the road. The main sign was bent and unreadable. One path continued forward, the other curved sharply to the right and into a wooded stretch. Instinct told me to keep going straight, but something else pulled me. Maybe it was the idea that the right turn might be a shortcut. Maybe it was the way the moonlight touched the trees. Either way, I turned the wheel. The road narrowed. Trees arched overhead like skeletal fingers. And then suddenly streetlights. Not old wooden poles, but sleek, modern ones, lighting up a main road that led into a town. Brick buildings, storefronts, a gas station. I breathed a sigh of relief. The sign read, "Welcome to Elmridge, where yesterday lives forever." I had never heard of Elmridge. Still, I pulled into the gas station. Everything looked well kept, clean, almost too perfect. The pump worked. The digital screen blinked to life. I started fueling up and looked around. No cars, no people. Just lights. A breeze carried the scent of lilacs and something else, like old books or forgotten memories. I finished filling the tank and stepped inside the station to pay. The bell above the door jingled. Everything inside was neat. Snacks, drinks, even a fresh pot of coffee brewing. And behind the counter was a man. He looked off. Not scary, just wrong. His clothes were spotless, like he stepped out of an old catalogue. His smile never changed, fixed in place. He said, "You made it just in time." "For what?" I asked. He paused, then said, "The parade begins at 3. My eyes drifted to the wall clock. It was 2:53 a.m. I laughed nervously. "That is funny. I just needed gas." He smiled wider. "You will see." I backed out and left quickly. Outside, the street had changed. Now there were people. Hundreds of them, lining the sidewalks, holding candles, all facing the same direction, silent. I climbed into my car and locked the doors. The road behind me, gone, just a brick wall. I threw the car in reverse and hit the gas. The tires spun, no movement. When I looked up again, someone stood in front of my windshield. A girl in a white dress, hair floating as if underwater. She placed her hand gently on the hood. Her eyes were black. No whites, no emotion. She mouthed, "You belong here now." I slammed the horn. Nothing. I screamed. No reaction. Then music began to play. Old-timey, distorted carnival music. The street filled with glowing lanterns. The people began to sway. Some danced, others wept. And from the far end of the street came the parade. Floats, dancers, twisted animals. A tall man on stilts whose legs bent backward like a spider. Children with hollow faces tossing petals made of paper. Each float carried a single person in modern clothes. Terrified. Frozen. I realized they were not part of the parade. They were trophies. And the crowd, not human anymore. I tried to run. Took off down an alley. Everything twisted. Turned. Bent. Every door led me back to the same square. They would not let me leave. At the center of town was a statue. It was me. Same clothes. Same terrified face. Already aged with moss and dust. The plaque below it read, "New arrival, accepted into Elmridge, 3:00 a.m. I stood there frozen, breath shaking. Someone touched my shoulder. The man from the gas station. He said gently, "Do not fight it. This is where all lost travelers end. GPS cannot save you. No map remembers this place." I broke away, ran to my car, got inside, turned the key. It started, the crowd parted. A road appeared ahead. I drove, fast, never looking back. And then dawn. Trees, the highway, no town behind me. I checked my phone, full bars, the GPS worked again. But Elmridge, no results. No town by that name in any state, no records, no history, nothing. Only a receipt in my pocket. From the gas station. Date, unknown time. 2:59 a.m. Cashier, welcome home now. Every time I see a fork in the road late at night, I remember Elmridge. I remember the faces, the music, the statue. And I pray I never miss another turn again. Because some towns are not on the map for a reason. And some places do not let you leave twice.